This is a good opportunity, for me anyway, to talk about your approach to a role. Woody Allen gives you your sides, your pages of script, and then he tells you when to show up. What do you do in the meantime to bring life to Rita Richards? Do you have a systematic approach, or do you just learn the lines and rely on instinct?
Getting the pages, I got 20 pages, and I only got my pages of the script. Joaquin and Emma have a lot more to say, so they got to read the whole script. I got a letter describing my character, and is flirtatious. She's kind of bored at school. She's a teacher, science teacher. She's in a marriage that, not very satisfying. And then I have the lines. Now the writing, and he's such a great writer. I don't know who can write, nuance and realism like he can. It's Woody Allen. It's his thing. It's his talent. It's his genius. So that was thrilling to read something that felt so natural, because not a lot of it's kind of writing that's gone out of style.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot of lines. So yes, I read the lines. I memorized them. I thought about them. But then when I got to set, he kind of showed me what the temperature of the movie was, and how, I didn't know if I was in a comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know the tone.
Right.
I thought a lot about jazz when I was working on this, and I thought about him. When I got cast, a movie that he did called The Front with Zero Mostel was playing at the Film Forum, and I went to see it. And I was like, wow, he does it all. He does it all at once.
Yeah.
He's incredible. He's funny. He's serious. He's
Yeah.
He's so jazz.
Yeah.
So
Well, sort of my
what does that look like? So what does that look like when you're working on a Woody Allen movie? So you go to set. He comes up to you and he says, what I wrote isn't very good. You can add whatever you want, and if you feel like you want to say something, you're free to say it.
Yeah,
And,
did you take him up on that?
I did, and I heard from Video Village, that's terrible. I was like, okay. I was like, that's good, because this is my last movie. I'm quitting after this. It's all over now. But there is an improvisational kind of vibe about this, and an ease in his style.
Yeah.
Yet he's this amazing writer.
The film, like you say, it rides a line of drama and humor, and you needed to get in touch with that tone when you arrived on set. What did you think of as being poignant about Rita, and what, if anything, did you find humorous about her foibles?
Well, it's that, she's a grown woman, and she's at this point in her life where she feels trapped, and she's questioning her satisfaction. And that's really poignant. I think we go through, I've seen, friends go through this, and, this isn't how I really thought my life was going to look like at this age. And I have to make a change because I feel totally trapped. And life is short, and I have to do something about it, because I have this urge in me to, and I had this idea of myself that my life would be more adventurous. And she's been a teacher for, her whole career. And she's in a marriage that doesn't have the potency. And she had this fantasy that that Abe Lucas would come to this town, this college, and take her away. And so we see a woman with her fantasy, sharing her fantasy with a man. We see a man having compassion for her fantasy, but not exactly up for
So to
loving
speak.
her and being, a match for her.
Yeah.
So that's incredibly poignant at this time. That was really exciting for me to play that.
And did I hear right? I think you said that Woody told you on day one something about Rita as well, right? That she's a very lonely woman. Did you
Yeah,
hear that?
yeah.
He's notwithstanding.
So I knew that, right?
Yeah.
But how someone deals with their loneliness is, it's specific to,
Sure.
how they hide it, how they compensate, what that looks like. So yeah.
Yeah. Notwithstanding Woody's critique, you've become renowned for your improvisational skills, largely through your work with Christopher Guest. How do you account for your ability there? Did you hone your skills at the State University of New York at Purchase? Were you ever in an improv group? Or has it more or less come naturally to you as an element of acting a character?
Yeah, I didn't like to rehearse in college. I'd say, "You're killing it, you're killing it." And so anyone who wanted to do a scene with me knew that I wouldn't be great at rehearsal.
Or that you'd be goosing it with something new or something fresh?
No, I didn't. I wanted to save it for when it mattered, which was in front of an audience. So, what you want to capture in film is something that's very real in the moment, and so you're capturing that. You're capturing it. It's not. There's different styles, but I'm not like, oh, I just thought of something, funny to say. I'm really going to throw this, at that person.
Right.
I'm more reactive and focused on the other person in the moment.
Mm-hmm. I think I heard you mention in an interview a screen test for Irrational Man. Is that right? Did you shoot a little pre-shoot screen test?
Yeah.
If so, what was that process like? And did you feel like you were auditioning to keep your job?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
So
I did.
Yeah. Okay.
And the wardrobe designer, Susie Benzinger, was like, just go out there and just be your character. Talk and walk like your character. And I'm like, okay. And I broke my wrist, so I was in a splint. And so Woody saw that, and he was like, oh, I heard about your wrist. Is there, if you want me to write that in, I will. And I was like, no, it's gonna be fine. But it was. It was throbbing. It was really painful. I had wrist surgery just a few weeks before. Anyway, it was like walking into a church or something. The studio that the camera test was in.
Yeah.
Darius, Kanji, the DP, his camera crew, the first AD, everyone just like
Pin drop silent.
Yeah, pin drop, and in their element, and the best of the best, and artists. And I remember walking up and down, from the focus puller, pulling, watching the markers. And I see Woody there behind the camera, and he's just looking at me. And I'm like laughing. I can't believe this. And I said, wow, so we have to change the gate. I was like, wow, it's film. There's film in the camera. And he goes, well, it is a movie. Because, you know, to shoot and film these days is a lot more expensive, and not many people do it.
Yeah. Well, obviously you wowed him, and you'll be wowing everyone when the film opens.
You're sweet.
Best of luck with the film.
Thank you.
Hope to talk to you again.
Thank you.